Okay, chapter 3 of Tanya. The main theme of this chapter is the 10 faculties of our soul. The godly soul is comprised of 10 faculties, 3 intellectual and 7 emotive, corresponding to the 10 sfirot. Everything godly is within us. All the 10 faculties of our soul are connected to the 10 spheres of Hashem, divine emanations. So what is up there is also within us. And just likened to a father and a mother that give birth to their children, there are 2 categories of these 10 faculties. There's the mother and father category of the 3 intellectual faculties. That's Chokhmah, Bina, and Das. And then the byproduct of really developing our intellectual faculties by learning and praying and meditating, then we give birth to the rest of these emotional faculties. You see, just like parents have to be very patient until their children develop, we too have to be very patient within ourselves until our emotional faculties develop. Chokhmah is a divine inspiration, kind of likened to a flash, an idea. Bina is taking that idea and looking thoroughly into more of the details of that idea. Kind of like if you have an idea to build a building, and then the blueprint and writing all the details of how to make that dream come true. And then Das is the 3rd intellectual faculty that is the actualization of that idea, so that you will see yourself being able to implement that flash idea. So we see in science that our emotional part of our being, the part of the brain that's connected to the limbic system, is actually works 3 to 4 times faster than our rational part of our mind. That's why you'll see children very emotional, and that's why you'll see even adults become emotional, hopefully a little less than the child, but it's kind of in different levels of in the experience of being emotional. Like a child will cry for like nonsense, like a lollipop, whereas maybe an adult will cry or get angry that he didn't get the best seat in the house at some concert or something when he bought the ticket or something. So but the more a person actualizes their intellectual faculty, then the more they will be able to give birth to the healthy and parts of their emotional faculties. So the first one is chesed, and that has to do with love and kindness. The next one is gvura, and that has to do with self-discipline and strength. Chesed has to do with love of Hashem, and the gvura has to do with awe of Hashem. So the more you meditate and contemplate on Hashem's greatness, the more you'll give birth to this ability to love and awe and fear Hashem. Then comes the synthesis of those 2, that is Tiferes, and that is the ability to have compassion, so that your discipline and strictness will be able to be overridden by your compassion. So for instance, if you see some poor person and you may make the calculation, why aren't they getting a job? But your compassion will override the strict judgment of that scenario, and then be giving, because really compassion is a greater level of love of that is going to actualize itself in reality. Then comes Netzach, which is the implementation of that love. That is likened to like the ability to have like a victory moment, the ability to allow that emotional feeling in your heart of love to actualize in a physical way. Hod is the self-restraint in the ability to have humbleness. And then Yesod is like a balance of those two, and that's like the ability to override your strictness in your relationships and then really have the bonding be the main goal in your relationship. So many times you'll see, let's say, people who have a very sticky moment with their child, and their yesod will help them overcome the temptation to be too strict, because yesod balances out the wanting to give them all the candy, and because that's like really not good, but then the gvura then could be no, 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 no all the time. So the Hod says, right now the most important thing is my foundation and my bonding with them. So I'm going to like try to best balance these two energies.